Now let's go for Navisworks workspace. You know, in Navisworks, actually a lot we've just we have to close or open the windows based on the need that we have. For example, the person that just does, for example, clash management all the time, it needs that the clash detective window is open, it is activated. For example, I don't know, it is on the left side, right side, you know, properties, a window is opened, and it might, for example, go to review command, maybe it opens the commands files, for example, in here, and they like this and until the end, you know, and it does these works. You know, a person that works for timing, for example, it could use timeline animation, they will be added into here, and based on the need that every person has, they could, for example, open the space for the work environment. You know, for example, when I'm going to do the coordinator clash management, I don't need the, I don't know, timeline, for example, or vice versa. When I'm working by timeline, I don't need any kind of clash detective that I open the window of that. You know, you are able to put the window that you want exactly in the places that you want. For example, some of them have been placed in here by view. Actually, I could go in here, I can open a window in here. For example, let's assume, let's go, for example, planet section, and in here it could be placed, and for example, I can add another plan for it. You see, it's like this. For example, this plan could cover, for example, the last one. Also, you see, it will happen like this. And this space actually, I want to save this space, for example, it is all the time opened. For this action, actually, you can go in View Workspace panel. You will have some choices or selections in here. For now, the first settings that I did, I can save on, I click on Save Workspace. The time that you click on it, exactly the path of the default file will be opened. See user, actually, the name of the system, data roaming, Autodesk, Navisworks version, and Workspace. You can name it. You can have a name for it. For example, the path could be exactly wherever that you like. Yes, as you wish. For example, I can just name it a BIM coordinator or coordination. I don't know. For example, workspace. And after, for example, naming by XML format, it will be saved. So for now, actually, if I close this window in here, or for example, I remove the items from here, again, I could go to this part and load workspace will be opened, and we have some defaults in here. For example, safe mode. When you click on it, actually, the settings will be like this. Or for example, if we go to this part, if you click on extended, again, the software will be restarted, and you will see the windows with different settings. These are defaults of the software. For example, or here, for example, it is minimal. As you can see, for example, the window is open, and if you want, you can open it. Or again, we can go, for example, to this. This is standard. By default, it is on this option actually in here, and also BIM coordination workspace that we created. The time that you click on it, exactly based on the settings that you had, it will be open, and it causes actually that the windows for working environment that you set, for example, that they're a little tiring, for example, or boring. You can just save your workspaces based on the need that you want, based on the wish that you have, and it causes actually about your working processing. You could be really more concentrated and more professional, and you can do really better. Of course, in view, you can go, for example, to this, for example, windows. You can have access to all of the windows that you open in here. You can just tick them, or I don't know, remove the ticks. For example, if I click on civil alignments, you will see the window in here that automatically this window, and separately this window is existing in here. If you don't want it, you can just delete the tick from here, or from here, for example, we have vision measure tools. I don't know, it will be open. I can just close it. all of these windows are existing in, I don't know, window of remove gradually. We'll just talk about them and we'll just get them in future. So if I click on it, it will be open. I can, in review, you can just close it, open it. There's no difference actually. So this is how you can just create and manage the workspace in Navisworks.